Soimah, coy.
Here we are, right outside her place. Do you still remember the first time we came here? We even brought offerings and everything. Huh? Traveler, did something catch your eye? Oh, what a pretty lady. Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer?
Nah ini nih.
Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association, right? Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's job as your reliable guide. Hello.
Iya, Judes tuh kan, Judes.
Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're also friends of Cloud Retainer. May we have the pleasure of learning your name, madam?
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has this shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
Wait, you're... Huh? You're the illuminated bird?
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion, one merely had no reason to indulge such inclination.
So, you're indulging now because...
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip is simply a way to make matters less conspicuous.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place. In fact, Paimon can think of several examples. Like last year, when you suddenly... Hey, didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts. On the contrary, it is the gesture that one values above all else. So long as you've shown proper respect and consideration, the quantity or quality of the gift is but a trick.
That kinda makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Ah, right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe. It's also been a while since we last saw them. Maybe we can come too.
One planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see you again. If there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still working at Yuehai Pavilion, so that shall be our first stop.
Sounds great! Then let's all go to Liyue Harbor! We're almost at Yuehai Pavilion! Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked to see Cloud Retainer like this? Guess we have no idea if Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before. Wait, where did she go? Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly now. One shall stay here. You two can go and meet with her.
But why? Isn't it better if we all go together?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's visit. One fears that would only result in her staying up all night to make up for lost time. One does not wish to trouble her. Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice. Do remember to inquire as to her recent well-being. Again, do not mention one's presence here.
Cloud Retainer?
Mampus kan ketemu lagi.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
Oh, si Ganyu juga tahu nih. Berarti si Shenhe juga tahu nih. Kamu nih. Hei, Soimah.
You are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer of whom you speak. One is simply a mere mortal passerby.
Huh?
Seems she's not buying it.
That was but a simple test. One did not expect you to be able to recognize one so easily, especially after so many years of only seeing one's other form.
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your disciple.
An apt observation. One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work. A quick conversation should suffice for today. A more involved reunion should wait until you find yourself less occupied.
I understand.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you to rest. Though Adepti blood flows through your veins, excessive exhaustion will still cause grave harm to your body. It still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent. When you were young, you oft begged one to cuddle you to sleep when you suffered from nightmares.
Cloud Retainer! Stop!
Ih, merah, ih, merah, ih.
If you insist. We are running short on time regardless, so one will refrain from going into each and every story.
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last time we spoke. If you ever need anything, please just come find me at Yuehai Pavilion. Also, forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer, but if you plan to continue appearing in this form, don't you think it'd be helpful to adopt a human name?
Oh, ini makanya dia ganti nama jadi Xianyun. Jadi nama Xianyun itu nama manusianya. Oke.
A human name? Huh. You raise a valid point. Considering the sheer extent of one's renown.
You really think so? Not that you're not famous or anything.
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly think such a thing to be possible. Nevertheless, Ganyu's advice cannot be ignored. From this point on, when in public occasions, be sure to refer to one as Xianyun.
Langsung ketemu aja anjir namanya. Gue kira bakal lama.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. The tales of her past can only be found in ancient texts. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Left with no choice, many people left their homes, while others spent day and night praying to the Adepti. Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the pain and desperation during that time. On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's efforts, much of Liyue would be nothing more than a barren wasteland today.
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events. One did merely what one ought, and even if one had not interceded, the other Adepti would surely have stepped in to help.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought! Can you really control the weather like the book said? Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you. So it was Paimon's bad for calling you Illuminated Bird before.
Aduh.
You're not too mad, are you?
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the world.
That's a relief. In that case, Paimon will continue to call you whatever feels right in the moment.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe?
Wah, kita ke Shanghai, guys.
One has heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any thoughts on her workplace? And what, pray tell, of her monthly remuneration?
Kepo amat sama penghasilan orang.
That is a lot of questions.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. I introduced Shenhe to her employer personally. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently. So, with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and Shangling still off and out in search of new recipes, I introduced Shenhe to staff the restaurant.
Anjir, jadi koki.
I see. Most excellent indeed. One has had the pleasure of being introduced to that family. Shangling is kind and astute, while her father is loyal and reliable. Now, it is almost time to partake in the victuals of noon. One shall visit Wanmin Restaurant in person and see how Shenhe is doing.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon, I'll see you some other time.
See you again.
See you around, Ganyu!
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food is enough to distract from the presence of a fine lady, eh?
Gatel, gatel, gatel.
I'm far more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes. Hey, how about you ask her?
You do it.
No. I think you should. Wait, she's coming.
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be willing.
What would you like to order?
Oh ya Allah. Ditembak anjing.
2 servings of mora meat to go. Good.
Shenhe!
Welcome. It's been a while. May I take your order?
Kenalan kayak gitu loh. Tiba-tiba mesen.
Don't welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line.
Mm-hmm.
Iya, ya udahlah si Hema biarin aja deh.
Oh, and this is?
Guru lu tahu nggak guru lu?
Master?
Ya ketahuan.
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How were you able to ascertain one's true identity with such
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize you no matter what form you take.
Ih, terharu.
Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and came to check on your well-being.
And check out the great food, too.
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still on the clock and can't talk for very long.
Well, if it isn't the traveler in Paimon, are you here for Shenhe? The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time with your friends. I'll let you know if things pick up.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Kita ngobrol bareng guys.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them, you mean...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil conversation.
Oh, how should Paimon put this?
You, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Just as expected of Master. By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Oh sudah kok tadi.
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There was time only to exchange a few simple pleasantries.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Masya Allah diceritain lagi.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest.
Ya iyalah dia bangau.
In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
What kind of device was it?
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again? Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
Di Genshin tahun berapa udah ada sepeda listrik?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day. Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights. 'Tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another fish stew?
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
All right, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
Mm-hmm. I'll try my best.
Gila, si Sensei udah kerja guys. Aku merasa di kayak orang tua.
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor legs can't go on for much longer.
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around. Excuse me, would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so...
Oh my god, ada nenek-nenek sama... Aduh, gak kasih aja nih, tante. Hey, tante.
Well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
Oh, setuju guys, let's go.
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Xianyun, and this is my granny, Yuendai.
Oh no, tahuankah dia mengenal...
Huh. Have we met before?
No.
'Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
No, not this again. Granny, there's no braised earthworms on the menu.
Sumpah gue kaget anjir.
Need any help? Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning. They died young. It's just me and Granny now.
Ah, cerita sedih. No.
But it's okay, don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got. Wow, you're really tough for your age, kid. You're too kind.
And me? Oh, what about me?
Pengen diomongin.
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. Wait, what was that really important thing again?
Kan lupa.
Ah, I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone was standing in front of me.
Huh? That sounds super important. But how come you've never told me about it before?
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. But I'm in a good mood now, and somehow I remembered it again. You know, I believe I've had this dream a great many times. But just how many times have I had it?
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Oh, does that mean you're possessed?
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an expert?
You're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me.
A younger version of Granny? This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave the situation to me.
Are you sure? So, what are your names? Paimon's Paimon.
Just Xianyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, how do you want us to pay you back? Oh, we don't need any payment for this. Thank you so much. You're welcome. But Miss Xianyun, what exactly can we do to help out this grid? All we have to go off is that dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those places, her memories will likely return.
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you which places you went to when you were young?
Please inget nenek, kalau gak inget susah.
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth below, the wispy clouds, and the emerald mountain stream.
Sumeru.
Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something. A martial arts heroine? Oh, Shincho knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's him. Let's go find him at the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
Are you leaving already? But I'm still hungry.
Aduh iya, sampai lupa gue mesen apa ya tadi nenek.
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Streetward Rambler? Oh, you mean Madam Ping!
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are ready.
Mana si Singkyo? Singkyo, kamu tau nggak itu apa namanya? Awan bertebangan.
Huh. It's you two. What brings you here?
Shincho! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I don't know if I can say for sure. I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps. The people idolized her, but never learned her name. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai. I hope that's somewhat helpful.
Thanks a lot, Shincho. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait. Shincho, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places often associated with her?
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and Jingyun Peak. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those locations appear in the various novels written about her. You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuendai was indeed the original inspiration for the character...
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Shincho. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar?
Oh, jangan-jangan si ini ya si Xianyun yang gue lupa aja nama-nama orang-orang Cina.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity, to do so much for the people while asking nothing in return. Do you have any other questions?
Aman-aman.
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Shincho. Thank you.
It's no problem at all. Safe travels.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh, thank you. Streetward Ping, what has amused you so?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, Approximately how much mora would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor?
2 juta mora.
It does not require as much as you may think. Still, do you mean that...
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed any useful details?
Shinto has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yundai have joined up with us again.
Do not be troubled, young lady. Here, have some tea.
Thank you so much. What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe that's my grandpa.
Buset, anjir, relasinya parah banget, gila.
I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in our attic full of a bunch of weird sigils. I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweetness in this cup. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
Thank you.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Nanya apa?
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you. Let's go talk over there.
Cil, lu masih kecil, Cil. Anjir, main rahasia-rahasiaan.
What's wrong, Chuyu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant. But are you guys all adepti in disguise?
Hayo lo, ketahuan.
Oh! How about that?
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Xianyun call herself an Adeptus.
Oh, yang tadi itu ya, keceplosan.
Must have been a slip of the tongue. Xianyun, since you were the one who, Miss...
One is indeed an Adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
Huh? I knew it. Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane. I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane flew down from the sky. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance. So, I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an Adeptus like that?
Tuh, ini nih, mata lu nih, di depan lu.
A pure white illuminated crane? Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Never has one met an Adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway. All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one!
Anjir, iya juga ya 3. Aduh, lama nih.
Okay, I'll go get Granny.
Come on, just tell Paimon already! What's this thing you've prepared?
Here, this is it.
Kompas, pasti kompas.
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the suspensus somnium mechanism.
Enggak kayak alat tidur, anjir, sumpah. Pajangan mana kayak gini alat tidur.
Oh, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass after a super satisfying meal.
Berarti kita tidur juga dong.
And you and I. Is the mechanism helping you to relax?
Ya, si nenek udah tidur.
It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side.
Berdiri aja gitu dia.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past. The me from not that long ago.
Adeptus apalagi dia?
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny!
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned?
Yes. I now remember everything.
Granny, please don't cry. I'm here.
I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never atone.
Dosa besar guys. No, kamu lagi ngapain lagi nih tadi di masa lalu?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane.
Ini nenek nih juga Adeptus sama yang si Cloud Retainer apa gimana?
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the past.
Oke, jadi si Yuande ini dia bukan manusia, tapi dia adalah Adeptus. Tapi karena dia makin tua, jadi makin dia lupa sama dirinya dia sendiri waktu di masa lalu. Ternyata dia itu adalah seorang Adeptus si burung bangau.
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along.
Dan juga katanya si nenek ini kayak masih setengah-setengah gitu loh, setengah manusia, setengah Adeptus. Jadi dia kayak untuk berusaha berlatih dirinya untuk menjadi Adeptus sepenuhnya gitu. Tapi katanya karena lupa apa gimana gitu, karena ada kesalahan sistem, salah belajar, jadi makanya dia kayak pikun, makin tua gitu. Jadi makanya dia kayak, aduh, gue siapa ya gitu. Jadi dia bingung sendiri.
Was it because of Grandpa?
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as well.
Oh, gara-gara cinta. Si nenek mah.
Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity.
Oh, jadi Adeptus itu gak boleh terlalu dekat sama manusia, sampai lagi ya ini mereka nih saling cinta gitu, Adeptus sama manusia. Jadi kemungkinan ya si nenek ini melanggar apa ya, melanggar hukum gitulah, melanggar hukum alam yang dimana Adeptus itu gak boleh dekat sama manusia. Iya, oke, ngerti.
I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode.
Granny, what's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an Adeptus? No, Master. Don't tell me. Back then, That merchant was actually...
Berarti si masternya itu si Cloud Retainer. Jadi si Cloud Retainer ini yang ngajarin si nenek Yuandai.
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
Bener anjir. Jadi si nenek ini nih kan Adeptus tapi dia setengah manusia, diajarin sama si Cloud Retainer. Tapi si nenek ini kayak, aduh ada cowok nih, gue nikahin aja kali ya gitu. Tiba-tiba ya dia kena hukuman, makanya dia jadi pikun sampai sekarang gitu. Udah anjir gampang banget ceritanya.
As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one scent on your body. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierced to see you happy. That was more than enough.
Jadi si nenek ini kayak kabur mungkin ya, terus tuh si Xianyun kayak masih tetap kayak nengok gitu, kayak gimana sih murid gua kayak gimana gitu kabarnya. Ya intinya si Xianyun masih perhatian ke si nenek tersebut.
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe.
Dan si bocil ini pas lagi sakit dibawa oleh si Xianyun buat diobatin gitulah, karena dia ini sakitnya udah parah banget. Kayak dia juga kayak masih membantu si neneknya gitu untuk mengurus cucunya. Ih asik banget nih, nenek diperhatiin, cucu juga diperhatiin anjir. Jadi ya intinya si Xianyun ini masih ini ya nengok-nengok ke si nenek walaupun si neneknya udah ngelakuin dosa besar gitu, udah nikah udah pacaran sama manusia.
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more.
Wah, bukan dikira kesalahan dong, dibilangnya pilihan. Let's go Xianyun quote.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You and I.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day. Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Oh, berarti si neneknya bakal jadi bangau lagi kah?
Granny, please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind. Good girl, good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsang. Granny will train day and night.
Berarti sementara ya perpisahannya nggak langsung jadi bangau terusnya nggak bisa jadi manusia. Enggak, dia masih bisa jadi manusia kok.
It's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
Ether, kamu iri bukan Ether, gak punya nenek.
I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
Wah anjir berubah guys. Ya. So yuk pikirin dulu deh, si nenek lu kuliah dulu. Abis udah kuliah, udah pinter, biar nggak tergantung sama manusia lagi. Nah dia balik lagi ke lu, pulang kampung. Nah itu tuh.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest.
Oh, sekarang kita yang tidur nih. Bentar, berarti kita inget masa lalu kita dong.
I always believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Grilled chicken drumsticks.
Mau dipet-pet, mau dipet-pet, mau dipet.
Was Paimon sleeping just now?
Kagak, anjir lu emang niatnya pengen tidur.
Madam Adeptus?
Oh, Xianyun, you're awake.
Madam Adeptus? Could I, ask you something? Would you take me in as a disciple?
Suyu berarti Adeptus juga.
I could become a cool Adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Oh iya, berarti si nenek udah berhasil nih nikah sama si itu. Siapa sih namanya? Gua nggak tahu tuh suaminya. Terus saya udah punya anak nih. Anaknya berarti sama bapaknya si itu tuh si Suyu meninggal kan orang tuanya si Suyu, berarti sama si neneknya. Berarti si Suyu masih ada keturunan Adeptus.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Hooray!
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus.
Paimon is Just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal together in Liyue Harbor sometime?
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea.
Bilang aja lu kagak mau gendut anjir.
Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense insomnia mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies.
Dikasih oleh-oleh anjay.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer!
Temui Xianyun di Liyue Harbor, oke. Kita ketemu si Xianyun, guys. Dia udah pindahan katanya.
We're here, Cloud! Miss Xianyun, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares.
Lah. Oh, ini lagi nego.
Master! Oh, it's you two again.
Xiu! You got a new outfit! It looks great!
Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it too.
Lucu banget anjir. Wah, ijonya ijo gimana gitu.
Now, this expert you mentioned, when can we expect their arrival?
Soon. Ah, there he is! Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhongli, a well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an expert in all manner of valuables and antiques.
Sialan, gua ketemu sama dia lagi.
Mr. Zhongli, this is Miss Xianyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
Pura-pura gak kenal.
If it isn't Miss Xianyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr.
Bahasa basinya udah basi.
You two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me?
A preposterous accusation. The heavens themselves would collapse before
Udah deh. Lu pengen pindahan ke Liyue, masih aja berantem.
I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, I shall, of course, trust your good opinion.
Zhongli!
My friends, have you been doing well?
Oh iya, gua ya biasa-biasa aja sih, minum teh di pegunungan melihat Liyue sejahtera gitu.
Make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together? One must profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Oh, bambu anjir. Gua ini sup rebung apa? Oh, bambu.
It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot. Xiu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhongli. He is,
a humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhongli.
That should be everyone, right? Let's go!
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite.
That sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparations...
Huh? Why are you all walking